It wasn't so much about coming onto a movie set as it was coming on to Alfred Hitchcock. I was not tall, thin, blonde, and heavenly, so that made me his good guy eating partner. We ate breakfast, everything you can think of. Sausage, eggs, pancakes, waffles. Gained 25 pounds on the movie. Head of the studio called and said, "You're ruining your career and it's only 15 minutes old, do something." I stopped eating a little bit. Well, that's when I got to know the mob. The mob was down where we were shooting on location, and I got to know Giancana and all the guys pretty well. They taught me how to play gin rummy. Frank and Dean, yeah, absolutely no thoughts of sex, no discussion of anything like that. They never came on to me that way. I never experienced them that way, wasn't really attracted to them. Frank was too skinny. Dean, a little bit of a crush I had later, but not during that time.
Did you hear what I said, Miss Kubelik? I absolutely adore you.
Shut up and deal.
Billy was not exactly acquainted with feminist equality, let's put it that way. And he could be very harsh with women. I think that's one of the things that bothered Marilyn. She was afraid of him, and so she would be late and stuff like that. We were shooting about what it's like to be in love with a married man, and the script read, you sit there and you make yourself a cup of instant coffee while he rushes out to catch the train. I'm half Canadian, half Virginian. I say out. So I said, while you sit there and he rushes off to catch the... Oh, Billy wouldn't, I mean, he screamed and he sent the script girl in, no, no, no. And he really was intimidating when you did not say the right word.
As long as the roots are not severed, all is well, and all will be well in the garden.
Peter Sellers became Chauncey Gardiner and developed his own reality, to tell you the truth. He didn't have dinner with me, lunch with me, or anything. And we were friends. We were jet-set friends in Europe for a while. And after the film was over, I remember Dick Zanuck came to me and said, "So, how was it having an affair with Peter Sellers?" I said, "I never did that. He's certainly not my type." And he said, "Oh, yeah." I walked into his dressing room one day and he was doing sex talk with you on the phone. I said, "No, that isn't so." And so as we talked this through, I realized that he had fantasized being Chauncey Gardiner with me being Eve. He had actually believed this was happening, but he believed so much what he was doing that he then made history real. Fascinating experience working with him.
Imagine you having a date with someone where it wasn't necessarily a felony.
The one scene where she goes next door and knocks on his door and he answers. He answered it in like 5 different ways. Once half nude, once with a hooker, once with something smashed all over his face. And that really did contribute to me in terms of spontaneity. I just then had to respond to what he was doing.
I see the Gulf of Mexico below me!
I'm not enjoying this!
A lot of what happened after he flew out of the car and I went into the water to get him, we just improvised it. When he put his hand in there and, "Get that out of there! I can't move it."
I swear to God!
Fabulous to work with. Adore him.
I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years.
We had the best time together. We didn't like the director. We didn't think he was kind to some of us. He could be very disrespectful. And once he said, after a scene, he said to Dolly Parton, in front of everybody, the crew and everything, "You should think about taking some acting lessons," he said. You know, come on, you don't have to do that. And Julia, you know, she spent many days at the end of shooting talking to me about what to expect and what was happening in her own life and what she was going through. When she walked on the soundstage where we were rehearsing Steel Magnolias, I called my agent and said, "This kid's gonna be a real star, do something. Find her."
I'm gonna come back some other time.
Oh, just go ahead, desert me, just like everybody else. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Go, you hate me.
Oh, I loved playing the big bad witch. I just thought she was a great part to play. And He I adored. One interesting happened on that because Richard Linklater, who is this wonderful little, independent director, would never answer any questions. Do you want this to be fast? I don't know. Do you want me to be the real lady? I don't know. What I learned was that sometimes when you don't answer every question to the people around you asking all these questions all day long, that you force everyone to lead the highest level of their own excellence. And I thought it was a brilliant choice for him to say, I don't know, all day long.